From the Detroit Free Press, it's Tuesday, May 18th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
This is Todd Spangler, Washington correspondent for the Detroit Free Press. President Biden is headed to Michigan today for his second trip to the state since taking office. He's going to Ford Motors' Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn for a tour. Afterward, Biden will deliver remarks. The timing of the visit isn't by happenstance. On Wednesday evening, Ford is going to unveil its all-electric version of the best-selling F-150 pickup truck. Given the enormous sales of Ford's F-Series of trucks, the entry of an all-electric F-150 could be a milestone in the adoption of electric vehicles in this country. And that's something very much on President Biden's mind these days. He's been touting plans to spend billions on encouraging Americans to buy electric vehicles as a way to cut greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change. He's also talking about putting millions of people to work, building cars and installing 500,000 charging stations across the U.S. That's all well into the future, but the F-150 Lightning, as it's called, could be a big step in that direction.
I'm Donna Afana with the Detroit Free Press. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan selected an interim police chief as Chief James Craig gears up to leave his role. Chief Craig is retiring on June 1st, and our sources say he's eyeing a run for governor as a Republican. So who's the new person taking over in the interim? James White, a former assistant chief since 2013 until he became director of the Michigan Department of Civil Rights last summer. Not only is his background in public service, he's also a licensed mental health counselor and plans to focus on that with his staff. He's already looking into funding to provide counselors for his future staff in each precinct. But he's not the permanent police chief, although he's interested. The Board of Police Commissioners plans to identify a list of candidates, and the mayor will select a permanent replacement in 60 to 90 days. But Detroit City Council also has to confirm the replacement.
This is Brian McCullum, music writer with the Detroit Free Press. One of Detroit's most iconic and historic albums is marking its 50th anniversary this week. It was May 21st, 1971, when Marvin Gaye released What's Going On, a musically sophisticated record with rich social commentary that examined police brutality, poverty, the environment, and other topics still resonating today. Many consider it Gaye's masterwork. Some even regard it as the best album in the history of popular music. Indeed, What's Going On topped Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums of All Time list last year. The album's 50th anniversary is being marked in a number of ways, including in Detroit. At the Motown Museum, home to the studio where much of the album was recorded, special Marvin Gaye-themed tours will be offered all day Friday. The museum's also rolling out a new merchandise line celebrating What's Going On. And on June 19th, city and state dignitaries will be joined by Motown personalities for the unveiling of Marvin Gaye Avenue, a stretch of outer drive on Detroit's west side, near the house the late singer once called home. The ceremonial street naming is the latest designation for a local music figure, joining the likes of Stevie Wonder Boulevard, Aretha Franklin Way, and Glenfry Drive.
I'm Kyle Davidson with the Detroit Free Press. Stargazers, get ready to celebrate. A lunar eclipse is set to appear next Wednesday morning. Detroiters can catch sight of the first stages of a total lunar eclipse at 5:45 a.m. on May 26th. According to NASA, this is the first total eclipse in almost 2.5 years. The eclipse will be visible for about 20 minutes, until the moon sets around 6:05. While the total eclipse won't be visible in Detroit, you can catch a glimpse as the moon enters the Earth's shadow. According to Paulette Epstein, planetarium director, staff astronomer, and solar system ambassador at the Michigan Science Center, the great thing about lunar eclipses is that you don't need any special tools to see them.
I'm Andrew Hammond for the Free Press Sports Department. Although the Pistons wrapped up this past season with 20 wins, Pistons GM Troy Weaver is highly optimistic about the future of the franchise under his watch. Young players have developed like Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey. They are becoming foundations upon the franchise to build upon. Add in the Pistons' second best odds for the upcoming 2021 NBA lottery, and it is understandable why Weaver, along with many in the organization, are very bullish about the future.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.